Hello everyone, welcome to your weekly tech update, the show that explores the newest, coolest, and craziest side of tech available on the interwebs. I'm your Marvel geek Ray McNeil, and oh my goodness, we are so close to endgame. Coming up on the program today, it's a bunch of stories I've had to cut from previous episodes due to time. We'll talk about the Air Force. They're building an AI system to fly fighter jets, and they're calling it Skyborg. Tesla has finally unveiled its Model Y crossover vehicle, and the Mars Opportunity rover leaves us with an amazing photo. That and a whole lot more coming up on today's edition of your weekly tech update next. The Air Force wants to see if AI-powered autonomous drones can help human pilots better perform their missions. In a press release, the Air Force said it was seeking input from the tech industry in a new AI initiative for autonomous drones it calls Skyborg. I love the name. Still, in its planning stages, the Air Force is looking for market research and concept of operations analysis for Skyborg to get a sense of what technologies are out there for such a fleet. It is seeking to launch prototypes of the autonomous drones as early as 2023. What exactly would the autonomous drones under Skyborg do? Well, according to the request for information filed on March 15th, the Air Force wants the system to avoid other aircraft terrain obstacles and hazardous weather. The system should allow drones to take off and land independently. Skyborg should also be able to be operated by humans with little or no pilot and engineering experience. The Air Force is also asking for a separate payload and flight architecture to allow for modular adjustments and adaptability. In other words, the Skyborg system could ideally use different sensors depending on the mission, such as a camera for a surveillance role or a particle detection sensor for detecting air contaminants. The primary goal of the Skyborg program is to deploy a modular fighter-like aircraft that can be used to quickly update and support the warfighter. That came from the request of information. In short, Skyborg would be to a human pilot like R2-D2 is to Skywalker. Will Roper, the Air Force Assistant Secretary for Acquisition, Technology, and Logistics, made the Star Wars reference at a conference earlier this month. Skyborg could respond to or anticipate a human pilot's commands, or a pilot could send Skyborg in their place to an airspace filled with enemy planes and avoid danger. Skyborg may fuel images of the AI-powered fighter jet in the 2005 military sci-fi film Stealth, but Skyborg's capabilities seem to be benign in comparison. The request doesn't call for weapons. The project is still very much in its early stages, however. What exactly Skyborg will be able to do and how has yet to be decided. Given the fallout from Project Maven, the Air Force's latest foray into AI may also ruffle feathers in Silicon Valley. But Skyborg and Project Maven appear to be functionally different projects, at least on the surface. Skyborg uses AI to help military pilots in combat, while much of Project Maven's criticism was over Google assisting the military in the surveillance of private citizens. If Google does decide to bid for another contract with the Air Force, the decision won't have to be made lightly. Google's new Ethical AI Advisory Council, which will vet any decisions that Google makes in the AI space, holds its first meeting coming up in April. What are a few hours playing video games and a handful of tweets worth? Well, apparently $1 million if you're Tyler Blevins, known to millions as Ninja, the world's most followed computer gamer. Blevins was one of a few select professionals with huge followings pulled in by video game giant Electronic Arts to play and promote its latest title, Apex Legends. In the first hours of the launch last month, generating a buzz that notched 10 million signups in the first 3 days. The 27-year-old, famous for his hair color changes, currently a bright turquoise hue, tweeted about the free-to-play game early on February 5th and streamed the action to his more than 13 million followers on game streaming site Twitch. For this, he was paid around $1 million. The amount underlines the increasingly cutthroat fight for dominance of the free-to-play battle royale genre that, through Epic Games' global smash hit Fortnite, has pushed major publishers like EA to change how they do business. Representatives for EA and Ninja declined to comment on how much he had been paid, but the amount named by the source is more than twice media reports of Ninja's monthly earnings from streaming his regular appearance on Fortnite, and way above what was speculated on a number of internet discussion boards. EA also paid popular Polish-Canadian streamer Shroud, who has nearly 6 million Twitch followers, to play Apex Legends, but declined to disclose the terms of that deal. They did a fairly comprehensive job at pulling together all of the relevant game influencers in this genre, said Kevin Knock, a vice president at esports infrastructure firm Rect Global. This was a really well-coordinated poaching of the top influencers, the likes of which has not been seen so far in esports, he said, suggesting that EA had also roped in streamers better known for playing other blockbusters like Call of Duty or PUBG. The Ninja deal also points to the growing possibilities for teenagers who grow up hooked in their bedrooms on the industry's big titles, as well as a shift in promotional strategy with the use of popular gamers replacing expensive TV ad campaigns. EA's stock price and market value rose 16% or $4 billion in the 3 days after Apex Legends launched, and a month later, the game has 50 million users, a quarter of Fortnite's 200 million. We really wanted to create a day where you couldn't escape Apex if you cared about games, and we wanted it to feel like an event was happening everywhere around the globe on that day, Drew McCoy said. He's the lead producer at the EA studio that created Apex Legends. We had streamers from all over Europe, Latin America, North America, Korea, Japan, so that we could get our message out there and people would see the game, he said. In 2018, Fortnite raked in $2.4 billion in revenue, more than any other single title. If each user registered so far bought the most basic Apex coin package, with which kids and teenagers can buy character skins and other upgrades, EA would take in $500 million. Analyst estimates hover around that figure in revenue annually. Ninja, who reportedly plays Fortnite for 12 hours a day from his basement studio outside Chicago, has been one of many to benefit from its massive success. He has streamed himself playing alongside major celebrities like rappers Drake and Travis Scott, has sponsorship deals with Red Bull and Uber Eats, and often appears on Instagram and Twitter alongside soccer players that are known the world over.